at last we reached the end of my mammoth haul of fucking movies that I got over the last couple of months. And again, this is just a random pile of stuff here. Random pile of shit that I had. I didn't really have many. Well, there's one or two independent label stuff here, but mostly just whatever was left from the piles and piles of stuff I was putting together there. So let's start very strong with probably, is it the best action film of the 90s? No, Terminator 2 is, but this would be one of the best action films of the 90s. One of my all-time favourite action films, Speed. I don't like this artwork. This artwork pisses me off. It makes it look stupid. I don't like the colours of it. It's irritating. It doesn't have that warm LA look. It has a cold fucking, I don't know, Chicago look or something. It just looks wrong to me. Plus I hate the new shirts. However, I absolutely love the movie, and the difference in quality is staggering. I looked at the difference between the 4K and the old Blu-ray. I think it's the old Blu-ray that's in this as well. But the new 4K upgrade is jaw-droppingly good. And let's have a look. Yeah, that's the old Blu-ray there, obviously with the new search, so it's the same one. Although it does say 2021, so I don't know, maybe they did actually just put the master there, but there's the 4K. I'd been waiting ages to get it. I think it went down to $10.50 when I picked it up. It was on the Black Friday sale. I couldn't say no to it. I'd been looking at it for a while. It was 15. I thought, geez, I might get that, but then I saw it for 10. I said, fucking picking this up. One of my favourites of the 90s. One of the best action films. Shows Keanu Reeves, yet again, is a savage actor, on top of the fact that he's great when it comes to action. This is a phenomenal fucking action film, and I recommend everyone see it. Plus, it is directed by Jan de Bont, who was the cinematographer on Die Hard. So this movie looks amazing, and there's a lot of elevator stuff similar to Die Hard. That's just fucking brilliant. Next is one of the vintage classic ones from Studio Canal, and that is for Cross of Iron. Now, as far as I know, they haven't re-released this. I think I was trying to find the date on it before. Yeah, it says 2015, but I'm pretty sure this is still the 2009 Blu-ray. I think it was around then. Judging by the box there, I'm pretty sure it's the old one, but still, it's a fucking great transfer, and I love that artwork. It's so fucking iconic. The flick itself, when I first watched it, I was expecting an Outlaw film. I was expecting a World War II movie. I didn't expect it to be as mean-spirited, ugly, and from the opposite side. So it was a surprise to watch. So when I watched it, I was a bit taken aback, but I couldn't stop thinking about it over the years. And then I saw it going cheap. I said, fuck it, I'm going to pick that up and watch it again the way it needs to be seen. Up next is JFK. The director's cut as well. It's even longer. I think it's 3 hours 20 minutes or something like that. Some mad amount of time. Can't even see the fucking thing here. The runtime on it. Yeah, 205 minutes. So it's 2 hours 25 minutes. Had always wanted to see it. Supremely good cast in it. I love Oliver Stone's films anyway. He's usually pretty biting when it comes to any sort of political stuff. This might have been in the box set I had. I had a big box set of Oliver Stone back in the day. But I never got around to watching it. And then one of the lads ended up getting this for free, and he doesn't really watch movies, so he said, "Hey, do you want this?" I said, "Abso-fucking-lutely." So looking forward to actually throwing that on for a good near 3.5 hour fucking cinematic viewing at home. Next is a strange one, and I'll just show it to you. Valhalla Rising. It is my least favourite of Nicholas Winding Refn's films, or Winding, however you say his name. I love this fucking slipcover though. I watched it on Blu-ray, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and it visually is incredible. It just didn't grab me. Something about it I was just off with. It didn't work for me. And I ended up selling it. And I think I got a tenner for it, and I think I bought it for £2, so it wasn't a bad trade. But part of me was like, well, I kind of wish I kept it because I want to have all of Refn's films on Blu-ray. But also, I want to give it another go, particularly now that I have the OLED. It will look blindingly good. And I love Mads Mikkelsen, but there was something wrong with it. After watching The Green Knight recently, in particular, and I love that, and there's some similarities there, it makes me want to revisit this as well. The good old Joe from Lazy Dads ended up having a copy spare, and he just said, "Here, do you want that?" I said, "Absolutely." So now I got this for free, returned to me, and hopefully I'll fucking get something more out of it this time. I always found this odd too, right? So it's 18s. The actual film is 15s. But it's 18s because of the extras, and I watched the extras and I've no idea why it's 18s. It has nothing that warrants that rating at all. Baffling to me, but I think again that was just a similar box I had back in the day, and this, all the same art. But I'm looking forward to giving it another go. I don't like those slip covers, by the way, where the fucking top of it's cut off. It pisses me off. But can't complain, it's free. Next is a duology of Japanese ones. Black Test Car and the other film in here, which is called The Black Report. So Black Test Car is the one I've watched so far. I haven't watched The Black Report yet, which I think was an English language sequel, but it's still with all the Japanese actors. But it's a really, really ugly, mean-spirited satire of sorts on the Japanese car industry in the 60s and just how just ugly people would behave in order to get what they wanted in terms of selling a new car or getting plans for other cars. And these two rival companies gone against each other. And it is just... it'll make you feel hollow with how mean-spirited it is. But it's very good. And I'm looking forward to seeing the second part of it now. I was exhausted watching the first part, so it was a hard watch, but was still deadly. Would recommend picking that up. I just read about them and I said I have to buy that. This was a 90s one I really enjoyed back in the day. I haven't seen it I think I saw it on video. Good long time ago. The El Pedo, Kevin Spacey, who, pedo or not, was a great actor back in the day. And pretty much up until he got caught, but he still is a pedo. But this one, there's your man Frank Whaley. He's actually in Pulp Fiction. You'd know him as the one who plays a game of Guess Who with Jules. That probably won't make sense unless you've seen the meme, but still. Swimming with Sharks. This one is a good, fairly mean-spirited dark comedy as well. Kevin Spacey basically being a fucking scumbag boss. He was actually chosen for the movie Horrible Bosses based on his performance in this. And it has a similar vibe to it. He wants revenge on this cunt of a boss. And I don't want to give too much of it away. Mostly because I haven't watched it in so long. I don't remember a lot of it. But also because I don't want to ruin Where It Goes, because Where It Goes is brilliant. Really solid fucking movie. And again, going cheap. Hadn't seen it in years, so I'd definitely pick that up. This one I haven't seen, but I've wanted to. Retroactive. It's a time-travelling action movie with James Belushi that came out in the late 90s. And apparently it upset a lot of people because it's pretty fucking ugly and mean-spirited. A lot of mean-spirited shit here, and I'm always up for that. 88 released it, and it has different artwork on this side. I think this is the original art, which I remember seeing the video cover for before. And I actually kind of prefer it to this one. I think that one looks a bit shit. But I like that artwork. I'll swap them around eventually. I'm not going to do it now because I'll be here all fucking day. Like I am trying to put this back. But yeah, this is a blind buy based on the fact that I'd heard good things about it. Good cast in it. And I like when things are mean-spirited and full of time travel and 90s violence of James Belushi. So, can't really go wrong. I think it was like $7.99, so hard to fucking say no to that. Toy Soldiers is another one I've been meaning to see for a long time. I actually had this in my hands a few years ago when H&V were closing down over here. They were getting rid of stuff pretty cheap, and I picked this up, and there was another one. I think I chose between the two, and I said, I'll get the other one. And I think it was this and the Falcon and the Snowman. I think I had in one hand and something else in the other. I said, I'll go for this, and left the two of these behind. But it's one I've been meaning to see, and I think it was going for like £6. So I said, fuck it, I'll pick that up. It's meant to be a solid enough 80s actioner. Or was it early 90s, wasn't it? I think it was early 90s. But yeah, meant to be quality anyway. I like Sean Astin. Lewis Gossett Jr. is deadly. I'm all in. Should be good crack. And finally, last but not least, is one of my favourites of last year. It's fucking visually brilliant. A super slow burn, grimy, ugly, gritty, very stylish, great music, very entertaining, and annoying artwork that I don't like. True History of the Kelly Gang. A film that it showed at the Dublin International Film Festival last year. Then I had a short run in cinemas before COVID kicked in and fucked everything up, and I think it kind of just disappeared for a while. Then it got an online release, and then it just turned into an Amazon Prime one over here. But it just got dumped onto Blu-ray with the artwork I don't like. I just think it sells the movie wrong. There's probably a lot more they could have done with it. But it's essentially Ned Kelly when he's younger and the birth of that gang. Justin Kurza, who made the Macbeth movie, made this, and Macbeth is a weird one because it's visually great, but also it bored the shit out of me. This one made up for that by being really, really interesting and entertaining, as well as visually strong. So it kind of gave you a bit of everything. But it's a fucking ugly one as well, but so fucking visually amazing. Like it reminded me of The Green Knight, basically. It's similar kind of visuals to that. Plus solid cast. That was a good year for George McKay as well, because even though I saw 1917 in December of 2019. It was a 2020 release, so he had 2 major films out that year, so that was good for him. Charlie Hunnam's great in it as well. Nicholas Hoult is always good at playing someone you want to punch. Thomas Mackenzie as well in an early role before she kind of blew up now with Last Night in Soho and Jojo Rabbit. Russell Crowe is very good in it as well. And Essie Davis is a real scumbag in this, but she's fucking great. It's just a really solid fucking movie. Plus, if I remember his name right, is it Eric? Let's see if I can get his name right, if it's on the back here. It may not be. No, I don't think it is. But Nick Cave's son is in this movie as well, and he's the fucking spits of him. Is it Eric Cave? I might be wrong, but it's something like that. But it's a very solid watch, and if you have Prime, you can watch it there. Pretty handy. So there's a good way of getting to it. But that's everything. That was all the shit that I got over the last few months. If you managed to get through probably well over an hour of me talking bollocks about all these movies, then fair play to you. And I'm going to pat myself in the back for splitting them up so you didn't have to endure that in one giant chunk. But hope you enjoyed it, and expect much more, especially in the new year. And like I said, maybe TikTok. Who the fuck knows? Thanks.